we all know that channels of communication and channels of data that we get from customers, that's just going to continue to increase. We have devices with internet access built into them. That's essentially everywhere. Alexa is everywhere. So, and these are all key channels of data. So it really becomes really even more important that we have tools on top of this data that will allow us to truly understand what's happening within the contact center. So I'm going to break this down a little bit, and I'll give you some examples of how artificial intelligence and machine learning, how it's used to provide predictive and prescriptive analytics that can really help a contact center start to take proactive instead of reactive measures, and be able to perform things like targeted quality scoring instead of random analysis, and help to spot agent performance and customer satisfaction trends without having to look for them. They'll be spotted automatically. So to give you an example of machine learning technology, I'm going to speak from the context of the product that I'm familiar with, which is obviously the Calabrio product. And one of the key technologies that we use machine learning for is our predictive capabilities. So specifically around predictive evaluations and predictive NPS, predictive Net Promoter Score. The way this works, we use our source data, which would be recorded interactions, and we're going to combine that with all of the metadata that we have around those interactions. And that includes metadata from the ACD, from the CRM, any other sources that we might be incorporating into that contact. And then we layer that with the analytics data that we have, including speech analytics, text analytics, desktop analytics, things like talk over events, silence during the interaction, etc. And so we're taking all of this data that we have in regards to contacts, and we're correlating that with an evaluation score. And so now we know what are all of the things that, for example, a high scoring contacts have in common, and what are all of the things that low scoring contacts have in common, and everything in between. And then we're able to use that, we're able to extrapolate out for 100% of our contacts what a predicted evaluation score would be. Or, for example, if this is with surveys for predictive Net Promoter Scores. So if it's survey data with an NPS question, we do the same thing. And so we're able to take a small sample of manually surveyed contacts and use that to correlate what high scoring contacts and low scoring contacts all have in common. And then use that to extrapolate out to 100% of our contacts what a predicted promoter score would be. So again, if a contact center is lucky, they can manually review about 2% of their interactions. And then we're able to take that 2%, and by applying machine learning concepts, we're able to extrapolate that 2% of evaluations or 2% of survey data across 100% of interactions. And then now the contact center, they really have a more holistic, more complete picture of how it's performing overall. So that's one example of machine learning technology and how it works. And then another example of AI in the contact center, and this also leverages machine learning, is sentiment analysis. So here we are trying to recreate the thought processes that a human might go through. And that's using an algorithm for concepts like emotion or sentiment detection. And obviously that's a much more complex question. How is the caller feeling about this interaction? What is the sentiment? Is this a positive interaction, a negative interaction, or is it a neutral interaction? Is there anger being displayed? What are the different cues that the AI engine can pick up on in order to give us an idea of the emotional content or the sentiment of what that particular contact might be? And again, this is an extremely powerful tool that allows us to really understand One of the most important questions that we have to ask, honestly, as customer service professionals, are we delighting our customers? You know, that should be a question we're asking ourselves every day. Again, are we delighting our customers? And emotion detection and sentiment analysis helps us to get there.